Consultations are really one of the most important services you can deliver in any service in this business, and it's no different for weddings. So in the wedding business, I like to separate the consultation from the actual technical side because they really are two different things. And when I'm talking about what I'm going to do technically, it's not near as good as if we actually have technical work to look at together on her head, and then we can discuss it back and forth. So I like to separate these out. Let's just have a consultation up front about what the day is going to look like. And this is an opportunity for you to lead the bride and maybe help her discover things that she didn't know was going to happen. It's great to put yourself forward and say, look, out of all the weddings I work, these are the things that always happen. And in some instances, we're having conversations the same way a wedding planner would. So this all occurs as added value. So you're going to want to take a piece of paper out and take a few notes here because I want you to be able to articulate or work backwards through this list with the brides that you're working on. If you can do this in the consultation, immediately the bride will start to form trust and that relationship really gets launched positively. You want the bride to know that her job is to explain what her day looks like in her mind, and your job is to make that happen. There's no wrong or rights. If she has 50 people that she wants to get her hair done, and she wants them all done in 20 minutes, we're gonna have to figure out how to make that work. I'm gonna hire 50 hairdressers to come with me. I mean, whatever she wants her day to look like, you want her to know you're there to make that happen. So have her go through her wedding day. How many bridesmaids does she have? How many mother-in-laws and mother of the bride services are you going to be doing? Like how many blow dry styles, friends of mother-in-laws and mother of the brides, how many flower girls she has. Get a really good sense. Now, we're not asking how many people are getting their hair done. We're asking how many people are in the wedding party. This is really important because you want to make sure you're planning up to the point that you absolutely can't, without having a gap in your day, to do everybody. We start off with a lot of brides that tell us, well, $110 or $150 a person is a little too much for some of my bridesmaids, so it's going to be just me and my maid of honor and my mom. And then as we progress throughout these services and they start building that trust with us and building that relationship, they start reaching out to their bridesmaids and telling how amazing their experience is with our salon or how excited they are about the wedding day hair, that other people start to get enrolled in such a way that they come back to you and say, okay, we've decided we're going to put in $500 and I want you to divide that up amongst the amount of bridesmaids to make their prices cheaper and get you to do everybody's hair. So this happens a lot. So, you know, we start off booking a full day, and when we get 3 weeks to their wedding, if it's still only a half day, then we'll reduce it. But we make sure to reserve the time for them in case they change their mind and want everybody to be there. Now, here's where we start with how a wedding day should work. All right, the first thing we want to know is what time is the event? Okay, so for this situation, let's say it's a 7 o'clock event. Okay, so if you're getting married at 7 o'clock, then your photographer is going to want you at 5:30 or 5. Most photographers will want an hour and a half. Some photographers want 2 hours. Does your photographer want 2 hours or an hour and a half? She doesn't know. Okay, we're just going to start off with two hours. So you're going to be ready to go, ready for pictures, ready to walk the aisle at 5 o'clock. Now, if that's the case, if you're getting married or you're going to be ready to go right at 5 o'clock, what time should we start putting on the dress? It needs to be 30 minutes before she's ready to go. It literally only takes 8 minutes to put the dress on, but it takes 22 minutes to dance around in it and have everybody tell you how pretty you are. So make sure the bride has a 30-minute marker to be able to put the dress on and then walk. Now, here's the next question you ask. Are we doing hair at the place you're getting married, or are we doing hair somewhere else? Okay, if we're doing hair somewhere else, then we need to build in a 30-minute travel time. Well, it's just right down the street. Or my friend's gonna drive me, it only takes a couple of seconds. Whatever their excuse is, make sure you give them 30 minutes. You don't know when there's gonna be a flat tire or something's running behind a little bit. Just build in time. Nothing is more stressful than running out of time. So much anxiety from that. So build in that time for her. So let me just recap. Married at 7 so far. Ready to go at 5, putting the dress on at 5:30, leaving the hotel where everybody was getting ready at 5 to go put her dress on. Now we're here. Now we don't want to finish hair and makeup right when she's supposed to leave, but we don't want to do her too early in the day either. So if she's got to leave the location at 5, then we need to be done with her at 4:30, okay? So completing at 4:30. Makeup artists typically like to do makeup after. I don't understand that really. I have no preference, but I think makeup artists just think we spray them all over their face or something. I really don't know what it is, but most makeup artists we work with, they want to do it after. So with that being said, if we're going to complete her at 4:30, it's an hour for makeup, hour for hair. So she needs to start her makeup at 3:30. You're going to start her hair at 2:30. You have 10 bridesmaids that are going to book 20 minutes each, so we're going to be there at 9:45, start everybody's hair at 10, get everybody done up to you, start you at 2:30, 3:30 makeup, and run down the schedule. And they're gonna be like, yes! Like nobody, typically a wedding planner will do that with them, but a lot of times in these meetings with wedding planners, they don't have all the vendors yet, and so they can't really break that schedule. If you, as a hairdresser, break down what the day is gonna look like for them, again, the amount of trust you're building with that bride is huge. So work this schedule. Again, go back and rewatch this section. Listen really closely to these times that we're plugging in and how we ask those questions, because it's a big part in building that trust with that bride. Once you've broken down the schedule for the wedding day and you've gotten all the information from her and she's excited, she's ready to start playing with hair, you got to lead her into talking about the dress and what that looks like. Hopefully she has a picture. What the feel of the wedding is going to be. Is it classic, or is it red carpet, or is it natural? Get the feel of the wedding. If she doesn't necessarily have a feel of the wedding, then take a look at the dress and tell her what you feel when you see the dress. To start kind of incorporating your personal touch on what you want to create for her and her hair, what kind of look you want to give her. Because really, the hair is a huge part of the look. So it's important that it flows with everything else. So inside of this conversation, we're building trust and enrolling her in what her wedding day with us is going to look like. At the end of this, there's lots of questions that a bride will have throughout the week, or throughout the several months leading up to her wedding. My desk is amazing. These guys are on point, they're well-trained, but I don't necessarily want a bride calling, asking my desk about what I think with these certain earrings, whether they're dangling or whether they're attached, or if there could be a hair change at some point. I want to have those conversations with her. I also like the personal touch of being able to text message back and forth. So at the end of the consultation, if she's decided to book with us, I give her my card and I tell her this is the salon number, and then I write my cell phone number on it. And I say, if you have any questions or anything at all, anything except for making an appointment, text me. This can be between you and I, you know what I mean? Or if you have any questions or anything that you need to ask that's not necessarily making an appointment, shoot me a text. And I love when we start interacting with a bride via text, because I can send her pictures of something I've seen online that I find inspiring, or I was thinking this for your bridesmaids, or what are you thinking for your rehearsal dinner? Shoot me a picture of your dress. You know, all of these interactions via the cell phone are much more personal and, again, continue to build that relationship. Also making it more likely that she's going to invite you to the reception when the dishes are done. A lot of people in the business, hairdressers that I know that also work weddings, are always asking me, do you have a contract? Yes. Should you have a contract? Yes. That's the end of the story. It's not just for you. It's so that the bride knows that you have a agreement, a binding agreement that you're going to be there on the wedding day. And we used to not worry about contracts or bother with any of that, but once I realized the security that the bride feels by knowing that we have both put our name to this, we decided to bring them in, and they're really easy. Just Google wedding contract. Print it off or put it into your word processor, change up a few names, bada boom, bada bing, you're good. We do have in our contract that if they cancel their wedding within a certain amount of time, that they have to pay for half the wedding or the full amount of the wedding. In all of my years of doing weddings, I've never done this before. It's good to have it in there, and it's up to you and your market what you decide to do, but we build a relationship with the bride in such a way that that few small percentage that happens where they choose no longer to pursue the engagement and break the whole thing off, they are losing so much money on the place that they reserved, and the caterer and the flowers, and I just don't want to be a grave dancer that way. So when I get a call from a bride and she says, I'm no longer getting married, we tell them we're waiving all cancellation fees that we really appreciated working with her, and if she ever needs anything at all, to give us a call. And these people usually end up being Cutting Color clients. So the money and the future business is still there. And especially if things don't follow through and she still ends up having a really positive experience with you, we all know people getting married. So there's a chance that she can refer you still to another friend or to a family member that's getting married, and just simply doing something as small as waiving the cancellation fee when things don't work out can be something that leaves somebody feeling really, really positive about their experience with you.